Welcome back, Big Orange Nation. Bob, ain't often we have two really rivalry games like this back to back. Normally Florida's earlier in their year for us.
Right.
But, to go from Florida to Alabama, man, it's a lot of, gets your blood pumping.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Bama today, but we're also going to do just quickly, give us some impressions, some thoughts, Bob, about Florida and what went right, what went wrong, quickly before we jump into Bama.
Yeah, and this what we're throwing out there is a collection of what we thought. We have followed, listened to several other experts out there, experts that, and we are not.
Yeah.
We're just trying to learn more. I try to listen to these other guys, see if I can catch something I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you do. And I've seen quite a few different people here, and I'm just picking up on some stuff that they caught, some stuff that I caught, and we discussed. But anyway, some stuff we saw from the Florida game that we thought was some issues. First of all, Nico's technique very early on looked really good. It wasn't until the fumble it seemed like everything went down.
Well, that's pretty early.
Very early, yeah. It seemed like he lost confidence. His footwork got worse from that point forward. And I think that's a lot of Nico's problems. He's young, and he's thinking too much, worried about the next play, worried about the previous play. Got to put that stuff behind us, reset, and go forward. I think that's really hurting him. But he's young. And there's several people that at fault with our issues, but Nico's definitely up there on the fault list.
Oh, yeah, no doubt he is. And look, it'd be great if you could just open up the quarterback's head and pour experience in, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
A lot of times you learn from a lot of hard knocks.
Yeah.
And he's had a few, but really, I think go back to our biggest thing, Bob, is the offensive line.
Yeah.
He's getting too much pressure, and now he's trying to. Sometimes he's feeling ghost pressure too.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous thing for a young quarterback. You can ruin a young quarterback if he's getting too much pressure because he gets into bad habits that's hard to break.
It's true. I mean, I tell you a quarterback, Tim, real quick, who I felt like probably got ruined. The kid might have been a successful quarterback had he not. I mean, I hate to say it, had he not come here and played under a wide offensive line that was really good, and under a coaching staff that was really good. But Jarrett G, I felt like
Garantano, man, he was beat to death his first 2 years.
Yeah, I think he would have been better off had he not played here at least a year later, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's another conversation. But I think you can ruin a young quarterback. They feel that ghost pressure, but he don't feel. He has zero confidence in our offensive line. And let's just go ahead and point the finger where it deserves the most, not all, because we've seen issues with
Across the
board. Across the board. I mean, Campbell played like crap. I've seen mistakes Spraggins made. I've seen one mistake that Cooper Mays made that probably, if he made the play he should have made, we may have scored a touchdown on. Derek, but Hurd was the one that stuck out more than anybody. And as somebody else mentioned, looked like he was wore out. He's out of shape.
And it's odd though. I mean, you take that one play where 23-yard touchdown run, where he's sprinting downfield and looks like, man, there's an athlete right there,
Yeah, I mean, you see that play, and
you see that, and you're thinking,
like, wow.
Exactly. I mean, running downfield like that and getting a good block in, he looked like a stud.
Yeah.
But yet, so much before that, he was plodding around like, out of shape, overweight, offensive guard that that's stuck in some JUCO out in the middle of Kansas.
Yeah.
And that's never going to get outside of a grocery store. Um, now he did have an ankle issue. We don't know the severity of it, but I believe he did have an ankle issue, and I'm sure that's helped. But yeah, he's probably huffing and puffing way too much out there.
Something else as far as pass protection I got to mention, and we've mentioned several times, running backs has not done well in pass protection. And when I watched that over and over and over again, the Florida game, I've seen numerous times where our running backs wasn't attacking the defender, and the interaction between the two uh, would happen right at Nico's feet. And Nico, instead of a wide receiver, would come open, and Nico's having to move. I mean, that bothered him several times. We could have completed probably 2 or 3 more passes had it not been for the running backs getting blown up,
Yeah, they need
pushed
probably
back.
come out and meet the defender. Just if it's not but a yard, that's a little bit more breathing room. Yeah. Mentally, going to be a lot easier for Nico at that point. Um, any other Florida takeaways, Bob?
I will say on a positive note, Sampson ran the ball better than what I thought. I mean, the guy, um, he made some yardage where there wasn't any. There wasn't none blocked for him. I mean, I give him credit there, big time there. Um, let's see. Uh, our defense played really good. And I'll tell you one other thing I was going to mention. It looks like the defense, whether it was Oklahoma, Arkansas, or Florida, they all looked very prepared for our offense. Now, more so than what they normally are. So it makes me wonder, are we having a problem with creativity? Is it scheme issues? But it seems like they are always right where they need to be. Uh, I mean, we throw some stuff out there. Maybe we need more wrinkles. Uh, and we'll talk a little bit about the wrinkles part when we get to Alabama part. But uh, that was something that I noticed. Seemed like we got some guys making some defensive guys that hasn't played as good as they have all year, being where they need to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bob, I think a lot of that goes back to the offensive line. There's probably some plays that are out there to be made.
Yeah.
But if you're not winning up front, you're a lot of times just not winning.
Right.
So.
Well, I will say one other thing though. I think a lot of it's fixable. Sure, if Hurd gets in better shape, which he eventually
every week should be getting a little bit better shape.
Seems like it's one offensive lineman messing up each week. I mean, each get play. Seems like it's not the entire collective. You see some good plays out of all 3 or 4 of them, and it's one guy that screws it up. It's always just one little thing that's off. Nico missed 2 or 3 big plays in that game. If he hits those, it's a different story. But let's get into the Bama section of the video, Tim.
Okay, Bama sucks.
I mean, that's a good summary. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. And I'm joking. Let's talk about them on their offense, Tim. They got 2 decent running backs, probably on the lower level from what I've seen in the past from Bama, because they usually have a Trent Richardson or
Lacey or
Derrick Henry,
yeah.
Elite type running back. I don't think they have an elite running back right now.
Yeah. Now their yards per carry are impressive, really, really good.
It's inflated.
Yeah, because as soon as if you look at the last 3 ball games, conference, they've had basically one explosive play that helped. I think it was Haynes's numbers out. It might have been Miller's.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they've kind of got shut down since it's gotten to the conference.
Yeah. I think they're averaging in conference, other than that one run, I think they're averaging under 4 yards carry. So that's not really acceptable. But now their running attack is pretty decent just because of the fact that they have Milroe.
Yeah, Milroe is tiring. He's really the straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise. He's run the ball well. He's passed the ball well. Throwing to some kid, I think he's 17. Uh,
Yeah, Williams.
yeah, Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
It's,
But on the bright side, as far as he goes, I love our two corners. I mean, Gibson and McCoy. I would not shock me if we kind of keep him definitely in check, and that'll be a key to the game. Uh, and I think one of the big keys to the game is stopping Milroe from running. He did against Georgia, and he killed Georgia. Now, South Carolina and Vanderbilt kept him in check,
mm-hmm.
and they had the game, either beat Bama or had the game.
In
right
hand,
there
if
in
they
hand.
South Carolina, if they hadn't kept fumbling the ball,
Yeah.
losing fumbles, they probably would win their game.
I mean, Bama gave up 418 yards to Vandy, 374 to South Carolina. So, I mean, Bama's defense is okay. I mean, it's a pretty good defense, but they have issues at corner. Safeties are pretty good. Front seven's pretty good.
But they're having issues their own self when it comes to a running quarterback, right?
Somewhat, yeah. They're seem like, I mean, they don't let running quarterbacks get huge runs, but it seems like running quarterbacks can get some yardage on them. And that's something we was talking about wrinkles. The consensus of everything I've heard this week, Nico needs to run more. We need to roll him out more, and it would simplify things for him. You know, he's having trouble reading the defenses. You roll him out, he's got three options. He's usually got an underneath guy, an over the top guy,
Or he can take and run.
you know.
I think Pavia, or is that how you say his name? Pavia?
Yeah, I think so.
Pavia or
Pavia. Yeah.
20, he ran the ball 20 times.
Yeah. Sailors had 16.
16. So, I mean, obviously people are seeing things in this Bama defense. Um, and both these teams had success comparatively.
Another key, I think, to this game, Tim. You know what we mentioned in the Florida game, there was 2 or 3 big plays that was there. Nico's has hit those. We need to hit 1 or 2 of those long balls. I think we will have open, and we need to hit.
Well, I think we will. Don't know if it'll be enough, I'll be
Right.
honest. But I think we will hit a couple. He's been close. It's not like he's been throwing 40 yards, into the third deck. Uh,
Right.
but he's and he's showed good touch before, so
Yeah. I think another big thing in this game, Tim, both quarterbacks, Nico and Milroe, had a little bit of a turnover bug. Milroe's had 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and a fumble in the last 2 games against Vanderbilt and South Carolina. And then any Vol fan knows about Nico's fumbles and interceptions here lately. So the quarterback that has the fewest mistakes, hits the deep balls, that's probably the one, and runs the ball a bit. That's probably where it's at. You know, can't have the turnovers. That's going to be huge. Uh, you know,
I'm concerned a little bit about him. You said who's running it better at this quarterback position.
Yeah.
Keenan Peely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, he missed the entire last game, so we really played Florida without him.
Yeah.
Can we do it without him against Alabama and Milroe?
Right. We'll see. Carter's got to have a heck of a game, which I think he's the guy that's going to be. They'll probably try to run away from Carter, honestly, because Carter, I think, can track him down a little bit, even though Milroe is very fast for a big guy. But, Tim, it's Bama. I've said before this game, I thought we matched up a little bit better with them when we do with Georgia. I don't think DeBoer's this offensive genius. I could be wrong on that. I think there's some issues there. I think this Bama team is beatable.
Well, the last 2 games have been very beatable.
Can we get our offense going? That's key. Offense has to take a step. Our offense takes a step, I think we win this ball game. If we play like we did against Arkansas and Florida, then we probably lose. I think that's where it's at. We need to play a little better. Now, like I said, Bama's got a little bit suspect secondary a little bit, especially at corner. I think they're starting two freshmen at corner. So they can be got there.
Well, they can. I mean, they lost so much out of that secondary last year, just like we did. Biggest difference was everybody they had coming in or was already there was still a 4 or 5 star.
Yeah.
So they don't lack for athletes back there. But there's a reason that some of these guys were stuck, third team on, for them last year. Not every 4 and 5 star panning out.
No.
Some of them are actually human.
Right.
So I would like to see a little bit more Ethan Davis. I think it helped this offense out. I think it helped Nico out. He's got a lot of confidence between the two of them. They seem to be on the same page quite a bit. And, before we get off here, I'd just like to quickly say what the Bama game means to me, Bob.
Okay, sure.
A lot of older people, it's Bama, big rival. A lot of younger, it's Florida.
Right.
We're somewhere in the middle of that.
Right.
In our timeline. I hate them both.
Right.
But Bama week's always going to be a very special week to me, the third Saturday in October. It's the series of streaks. And I'd love to get a streak going with our side now.
Heck yeah. Well, briefly, I want to say one last thing, Tim. If you want to talk about what I think about Bama, I told my son growing up that if anytime he seen a Bama fan out, that they was a pedophile. And and it was funny. Anytime he'd see somebody with a Bama shirt on, he would kind of get behind me and point at them, It was so funny though. One time, whenever I was headed to work, one time I seen where a guy living in Tennessee who had been busted for pedophilia, who in his mugshot had an Alabama shirt on. So I immediately screenshot that, sent that to my son. I said, "See, I told you," So it was just something we laugh about now, but not all Bama fans are pedophiles. Not all. I mean.
No, some are victims.
So, other cousins, brothers. And
you got problems, Bob.
Yeah.
You got problems.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that comment section. Let us know what you think. What do you think's the problem here? Because when I talk to a dozen different people,
you get
a dozen different answers. So let us know what you think.
All right. Go big orange.
Go Vols.